Hi everybody, it's Tom from FindTheBestCarPrice.com. This is the 2022 Chevrolet Silverado LT. It has a sticker price, as you really already know from the description or the title of the video, $58,215. Is it worth that price? The exterior color on this truck is silver ice metallic. It has a jet black interior. We'll take a quick look at that. We're going to take a more detailed look at that shortly when we get to that point of the video, but just so you can see what is there. Tell me down in the comments at the end of the video if you think this truck is worth that asking price, or maybe you've got some room for improvement on it, and tell me why you made the decision you did. If this is your first time seeing the 2022 Chevrolet Silverado with the updates to the truck, this is not the limited version. Well, obviously there are changes to the front end, the headlights, the location of the daytime running lights. The bow tie logo is larger than it used to be, and the overall design of the grille and the front bumper have also changed. And while this truck does not have fog lights, if it did, that's also a change. They would be down here on this portion of the bumper. The overall design of the bumper has changed to give it a little bit more of a wider, kind of more aggressive look to the stance of the truck. And under the hood of this silver ice metallic four-wheel drive Chevrolet Silverado, well, it's one of the two V8 options available, the 5.3 liter V8. Tell me down in the comments, would you rather have the 5.3 or the 6.2, and tell me why. When it comes to the numbers for this 5.3 liter, you're looking at 355 horsepower, 383 pounds-feet of torque, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. MPGs come in at 14 city, 19 highway, and 16 combined. According to Chevrolet, you should use 6.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive. And power adjustable manually folding side view mirrors. And what about your remote for 2022? Well, there is what you have. Obviously, I don't need to tell you too much about what's there because I think you can figure that out. You do have remote start right here. And one thing you won't find on the LT trim level is passive entry on the front and rear doors. And if you're wondering what that is, normally you'd have it back here on other trim levels, or you do on other trim levels. That allows you to unlock all four doors from the rear doors. That has advantages. But if you don't know what this is, have the remote on your person, you can hit that button and it's going to lock and or unlock the interior of this truck. And as I hit the button to open the power rear tailgate, let's talk a little bit about towing and payload. You can tow up to 11,000 pounds with this truck. Max payload comes in at 2,300 pounds. Now, one thing you won't find here, a bed liner. You don't have a full bed liner. You have a little bit of a lining here on the tailgate. But honestly, for the sticker price, over $58,000, you would think that you would have a bed liner. That is pretty important. You do have 12 different tie-down points, 6 on each side, and right here, you're gonna find a very useful and practical power outlet. That's a good thing. And at night, you not only have the cab light up there, but you also have these in-bed LED lights that are going to light the interior of the bed very, very well. And taking a closer look into this jet black interior of this LT trim level truck, we'll take a look at some of the trim here, basically just plastic right there. Large door bins though, must say there's a lot of space there. And if you want to raise both sides of these seats, obviously I can't do that here on both sides, but as you can see, you can raise both sides up. But something else, again, for that price point of $58,000 plus, you should have the in-seat storage back here on the rear of these seats where you open the compartment and you have space in there for whatever you want to put in there. No sunroof on this truck, but their sunroof option is obviously available. Tell Chevrolet down in the comments, would you like to see a panoramic sunroof option? I think a lot of you would. And something else that's missing back here. For your rear seat passengers, there's no armrest or built-in cup holders to fold down right here, but there are cup holders built into the top of the center console back here, dual air conditioning vents, and a couple of options for USB connectivity. And just like we saw on the rear doors, large, a little bit larger door bins, a little bit more space here for the front doors. And then you do have cloth seating here, but it is comfortable and more capability for storage here with not only the upper, but the lower glove boxes that I don't think anybody puts gloves in anymore. Have you ever put gloves in your glove boxes? Tell me down in the comments if you have. And that's not all you have here. You've also got the storage spaces on each side of the console that are right here. And let's hop inside here. One thing that has changed where Chevrolet increased storage capacity is right here, even into this area. But where the wireless charging used to be, that's because the wireless charging has been moved to this area right here. A little bit of a different situation there. And that's a wireless charging pad. You can opt for a wireless charging pad to go right here. That's an aftermarket version. You have to buy it yourself. I don't think Chevrolet makes that available, but it is available to go there. Check that out on Amazon. I believe that's where you'll find it. And then obviously very large console lid right here that doubles as the armrest for the driver and the passengers. Or the passenger. Yes, there's only one passenger in the front. I like the fact that there's plenty of room right here. It's just comfortable that way and a lot of space. If you don't want this tray in there, or it's in the way, or whatever the situation is, obviously you can take that out to gain access to even more storage down there. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Maybe you can see the light shining on my fingers right there, but there is a light right there within the console itself. More connectivity not only right there, but also right down here. And most likely the main area of attraction for those of you watching the video, because you're probably going to be the owner and the driver of the truck, well, here we go. Now this LT does not have the seat memory. That would be located right here. The buttons would be located right there if it did have that. I probably don't need to tell you about what else is here. But as far as what we have up here, a little bit of a change because the mode selector used to be up here. Let's hop inside, because one thing I really like here that Chevrolet has changed for 2022, you've got the two screens here on the left. You have the 13.2, and on the right you have the 13.4-inch screen. I think they did a really good job with these graphics. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. We'll take a quick look at the majorly updated dashboard. I know a lot of you said that it was very antiquated in the past. Well, everyone has their opinions on that, and you're welcome to share that. I do think that Chevrolet has made a strong move in the right direction with the changes here. And what about driving modes? I showed you the mode selector. Well, you've got normal, as you can see there. You also have sport, and you have off-road. And you can see the graphics over there on the right-hand side that change as you're selecting your way through the different driving modes for whatever it is you may want to do. You've got your steering wheel mounted controls, cruise control here, voice commands. You can go through all sorts of different features and functionality there on the dashboard, depending on what you want to do. Even have that very nice speedometer there in the middle. The good thing about that digital speedometer is it's always there, even on the top, for those who wish to use that. And then you do have the paddle shifters up here. And then let's talk about one of the main areas of attraction right here. That's going to be this 13.4-inch touchscreen, strongly updated for 2022. As you can see, Google integration. I'll show you what your trailering screen looks like. That's changed quite a bit. Looks a lot more updated and modern. As you can see, it's easy to figure out, but it's there just so you can see what that looks like. Here's how you're going to add your phone, and that's easy to do. Very easy to wirelessly pair your phone. That's another change for 2022. You don't need a USB cable to pair your phone anymore. That's a good thing. I think that makes things a lot easier. And then we'll go back here on the screen for everything to do with radio functionality, and then just back to the main screen right here. And real quick, a couple of things we'll cover before we look into the screen a little bit further. Here's your start-stop button for the engine pointed towards the driver. I like that. And then controls for trailering. Then obviously everything here for the air conditioning system. And then the shifter. Tell me what you think. Do you like that new shifter? Or would you rather see a column shifter maybe? Or even the button style shifter here on the dashboard that we see in the Suburbans and the Tahoes? Always curious to know. Now you can go into reverse to look at your cameras, or you can stay in park and just push the button right here. In fact, it'll even let you do this while you're driving up to a certain speed. Let's take a look at the different camera views. with a little bit over $58,000 on that sticker price, well, you better have multiple camera views, and you most certainly do here trajectory lines as well. You also have the side view mirror cameras to show you what's going on next to the truck. So there is a lot here. A very impressive look. There's your overhead and 360-degree view. That way, you know, one of the most common problems people have in vehicles is sometimes, I know I've done it myself, we don't think about what's over here on the right-hand side, and we may accidentally turn too soon and bump into something over there. Maybe one of those little concrete pillars for holding up a sign or whatever the case may be. And then as we look down here, you're going to find, let's just say we're going to go back here to this screen. If you're saying, well, how do I get back home to the main screen? Well, you can hit this button right here, or you can hit the screen right there. Controls for the radio and several one-touch buttons right there. I probably don't need to tell you exactly what all that is, but what I would like for you to tell me is, do you think this truck is worth the asking price? I'm curious to know your thoughts and to know the reasoning behind those thoughts. And before we hit the road for our test drive, there is one more thing I want to show you. For the last several years, I've shown the front camera washers on the Ford F-150 and all the Ford F-Series pickups that have that available, and some of the other Ford models as well. So how to use that here on the Silverado. All right, we're gonna get out on the road for our test drive with the 2022 Silverado LT 1500 and see what this truck is all about on the road. Now, there's really no changes in the respect of suspension or shocks or anything like that, but as I have said many times in the past, these trucks definitely ride a lot better than they used to in decades gone by. It's been a long time since there's been a full-size truck such as this that had a really bone-jarring ride, we'll say, that had you at the end of the ride counting the fillings in your teeth, if you had fillings to begin with, of course. But overall, I really enjoy driving these trucks. They're easy to drive. They don't, you know, they're not so big that if you're used to a really small vehicle that it's hard to get used to, at least not in my experience. And I realized other people might have a different view and opinion of that, but it is what it is. With the cameras that you have all over this truck, even on the LT trim level, it's so easy to be able to get around and do what you need to do. I mean, you just can't beat it. But overall, a very enjoyable truck to drive. Now, one thing I want to do here, let's get through this corner right here, this little curve, and I'm gonna try a couple of different driving modes. And really, I can only try two because obviously, well, we're not gonna be doing any off-roading today. There's no place to do it, and I don't know that Red River Chevrolet would be happy with me if I did that. The Corvette lady might not let me come back. But here's what we're gonna do. On the fly, I'm driving in normal mode right now. Let's step into sport mode, and guess what? I can feel a little bit of a difference. Kind of what I would expect with this type of a vehicle. The RPMs are gonna climb a little higher, a little faster than they would in normal mode. And let's do this. I'm gonna gear down. Now the shifter paddles are pretty responsive. I need to slow back down because, wow, it got up pretty good there. That's the thing about these test drives is, well, I have a good reason to step on it just a little bit, but maybe not too much. And even though this is not the most powerful V8 you can get under the hood with these trucks, even that 355 horsepower does a great job. But I tell you what, if you're really looking for the most bang for your buck in the area of horsepower, that 6.2 liter at 420 will really get you down the road. I've been on this road before in other vehicles, in fact a Suburban, probably a couple of years ago, just cruising along thinking I was doing 55 miles an hour, and looked down and, well, I was doing, well, quite a bit more than that. I think I was doing 81 unintentionally. That's how much power those motors have. When you're in a large vehicle like this, well, it basically makes you feel like you're not going as fast as you really are. To learn more about the model in today's video, visit the link in the description for a detailed comparison between trims and pricing for the vehicle we featured or any vehicle you may be interested in. These pages feature information such as our recommended trim level based on price, value, and features. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We look forward to seeing you next time.